Hi, everybody. Jim Ricard's Winery, and I'm with Brad Beard at Mercury Winery, and we're at his house this time for our finale of our series of Dinner with Brad and Jim. You know, young man, I think that you know having a nice bit of sparkling wine to celebrate the end of the year, the end of COVID restrictions, the future that's ahead of us, looking forward to the year. Um, you know, it's pretty spectacular. Cheers,
It is.
everybody.
Cheers, everybody. That's why
Yay.
we opened up this little bottle of wine for you. Cheers,
Cheers.
Jim. Absolutely.
I'm feeling so good about things, as if there's life ahead of us. And, you know, it's so nice, guys. Geyserville is opening up, Alexander Valley is opening up, our tasting room, your tasting room, we're seeing people, and we're seeing people by appointment. I like that thing. I like that idea. And I like that idea for two reasons. Number one, I can make space for you so that we can spend the time with you that we want to. And, you know, however, part of that is that if you're down at Brad's tasting room and you want to come up and see us, give us a call. They can arrange it.
Yep.
They can do it.
Yeah, we'll call up there for you and say that we've got some special folks heading up, and we can get you in. We're talking about this afternoon that we will make extra space and make sure that we hold that space open so that we can take some folks that haven't made reservations, just in case you forgot to make reservations.
Absolutely.
Coming out. So we'll take care of you. That's
we can do that. Or at the moment strikes you. That's the deal. And so now the rules. The Zoom rules.
We have a few Zoom rules to go over. All right, we have the Zoom. So if you guys have any questions, if Jim and I stop talking for whatever reason, and you actually have questions that we didn't cover, please raise your hand in the Zoom room or shoot us a little text and chat, and we will get that taken care of. We are recording this. This is going to be up on YouTube later, but the only thing that we're recording is Jim and I, so we're not recording any of you guys at home. But oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. Welcome. This has been a heck of a great year, and I don't even know how many times we've done this. Is this our third iteration of it?
Well,
so the first one was
badge. So it's just like our 8th or 9th thing, dinner with Brad and Jim.
It is.
And I just it's just been a wonderful experience for me personally. And
I saw smoke coming out of the grill, and he was worried about reflection.
Okay.
Make sure everything's looking good, Danny. Oh no, we're doing good. All right. Actually, this is the one that's hot. We'll slink this one down there. All right, getting ready for the shrimp. Getting ready. Sorry.
Okay.
The grill is important.
No worries there. And we're cooking here,
We are cooking with you guys. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying yourself. And actually, I am going to apologize. The bacon wrapped shrimp are really a pain in the hiney to get wrapped up with everything fantastic. So I promise that as these dinner series continue, I'm not going to have something that's so difficult to get right and then get things cooked properly. But on my last video, because when we were talking just a couple weeks ago, you were like, "Hey, Brad, I would really like some crispy prosciutto on your shrimp." So I had to check that out. And so we've got crispy prosciutto plus bacon wrapped shrimp for tonight.
Here's the thing is, I was thinking about that. Remember, I was complaining earlier about the fact that, bacon wrapped anything, the bacon never gets done, right? And I had this brilliant idea, and that is taking a shrimp like this, putting a single slab of bacon on the bottom, and kind of skewer it this way. You put that on the grill,
and let that actually cook properly.
Cook the bacon, and then you flip it over when the bacon's done.
That is a great idea. I also got a little feedback that it was tough to get the shrimp cooked properly with the bacon. And so on the video, I did go and get Costco pre-cooked bacon.
Oh,
I know. How exciting was that? It was exciting because then I never didn't have to worry if the bacon was cooked or not. We wouldn't have those little fleshy spots.
yep,
So that
yep.
was on the video for everybody. But we also did. This is how I also cured the whole. Is it going to get done in time? So I went back to my youth. I grew up. Sorry, Mom. You know, it might have been the Oscar Mayer bacon that you could see through. Like literally it was you could read a newspaper
Well,
through it. So I did get some ultra thin sized bacon that did cook properly in time for that, but we also did the prosciutto, which cooked perfectly. It's going to be exciting. We've got that
all
coming
right.
up on the grill.
Nice, nice.
Mm.
Okay, these are
And
now.
so I got
What's
really
this?
sick and tired of trying to wrap the shrimp in bacon and put the cheese inside and everything, so I just went ahead and seasoned some of the shrimp. We've got them here. These are just seasoned with the Creole seasoning on the grill for 3 to 7 minutes, however long it took them to cook. And I just didn't want to try to wrap those because it was going to take me another 3 or
Mm.
4 hours. I'm going to get those things done. I'm sorry, I'm putting that in there. I'm not going after it. I'll go out. I'll get it later.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up in San Francisco, um, I would go down to Fisherman's Wharf, and they would have shrimp down there, and I'd be darned if I'd throw away half the shrimp and the tail. So to this day, I no, it's all right. You
I'll
don't
go in there.
you just pop it in.
No, I'm just gonna eat the shrimp that was in there.
Bah.
I'll learn how to do that one of these days. And actually, it's going quite nicely with a little Blanc Noir.
Yep.
Mm.
If the shrimp is done,
Then it's okay. And
mhm,
and then there's all sorts of great. I think there's actually some health benefits to eating the shell. Um, Grady was saying that earlier, but I don't know what that was.
what was that?
What was that, Grady? Go ahead.
Conjointant
Oh, conjoinant.
from they ground up all those
So
little
ground up shells, and that's some good stuff. All right. So
just chew very thoroughly.
all right.
And by the way, I have to say that we have JJ handling the technology in the back. We have Danny back over there being director and supplier of things, and of course,
And then we've got Grady, which actually
Grady.
they've never seen Grady before, so we're gonna have him come out here and get on camera here shortly.
Okay.
Well, we've got him coming out to do a review of the anti-face steak strips and if the wine pairing is worthwhile.
Okay. All right.
So we'll have Grady doing that. And of course, we have Freddie running the show over here. He knows that anti-face steak strips are on the grill and that we've got the fun shrimp happening as well. And then I forgot I had a little bit of lime.
Oh.
A little lime to squeeze on there. Good thing we had more than one. Oh, there we go. A little bit of lime juice always makes things better. But my gosh, you know, I know we're not supposed to talk too in depth about how, the wines and harvest and stuff, but I just want to let people know that I know that. So here's a dahlia from my garden. We've got a caprese salad. Actually, Danny, where's the?
There you go.
Oh my gosh, we had a caprese salad to start with, which isn't on the dinner menu, but here it is. And there's the only reason why I know that you're going to get mad at us. There's Danny.
Hello, sorry, I was getting more wine.
So he was getting
for
some
that.
wine for
But
us.
this is our caprese salad that I picked fresh from our garden.
Wait a minute, we
this
have
morning.
we have tomatoes that are
We
ripe.
had just enough tomatoes. Just enough tomatoes to make a beautiful caprese salad. And our we have onions in there, a little extra, and our fresh basil from the garden is fantastic. So
So-
bon appetit.
Thank you, Danny,
You're
for producing that
welcome,
for us
buddy.
today. I did have to say my goal in life is to have a ripe tomato by the 4th of
Okay.
July every year. And I think we probably should have some rosé.
You
What's
think the
temperature?
rosé or the Viognier?
Probably the Viognier is going to go better with this. Let's switch. Let's
yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
Let's go Viognier. And it's a wonderfully hot day here in Geyserville today. So we've got the wines on ice, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it's what I call a why we live here day. Just gorgeous. The
Hmm.
you know, we're in the 80s, and just wonderful. We're having other drought issues, but from a grape growing point of view, vines look good. And
Yeah.
the reality is about wine grapes. Wine grapes, you have to remember that they evolved in the temperate forest of the Middle East. And it was actually Alexander the Great actually credited with moving modern wine grapes out of Persia and into southern and eastern Europe. It was the Romans that moved them the rest of the way into Europe. However, the real thing there is that they're used to droughty conditions. They're an ideal crop to plant in our environment. And they use very little water. They actually have things about them that oh, okay.
I'm thinking the rosé might be a little.
You think
be
so?
able to, well, we've got all that balsamic vinegar in there,
Hmm.
and it's kind of overpowering the Viognier a bit, but that might just be me.
No, I can see that. Let me try it.
But he's right. So we are in our drought conditions, but that actually is bad for farmers and great for for winemakers. So because it's bad for farmers is because they're going to have a smaller crop this year. I mean, tell me about how is the crop going along?
Crop looks
Or
good.
is it looking okay? Because I was talking to some people the other day that said that Chardonnay might be 20% up this year.
Yes.
Even in this condition.
Yeah. But the Chardonnay is a flatland grape. And
those dirty flatlanders.
Got to remember,
he's hillside.
He's
hillside for
flatlanders.
Looking good over there, Daddy.
That's a flatland grape, and on the hillsides, though, we're looking at. Okay.
Yeah, I need a little more.
Okay. We're looking at. I think the crop is going to be light.
Okay, so on the hills, it does make sense that the hills, are always going to be a little more stressed out because of the water and the aspect. Maybe a little more sun, but that's why we plant grapes that need more sun.
That's why the quality grapes
yes.
come from the hillsides.
Yes,
it's the issues there.
There's tasty grapes for all your flatlanders out there. There are tasty grapes that do come from the flatland, but the hillside with the different aspects, it does produce a different quality of grape. That is for sure.
Oh, you're right.
I think the rosé is a little better,
much better,
a little better. The Viognier with the balsamic and that the wonderful sweetness of the tomato, it's a little bit flat.
Yep. So tell me about the rosé.
All right, so this rosé, oh my gosh, it is a 100% Mourvedre rosé. That is rare in the world and rare out here, especially from Alexander Valley. But Mourvedre is a late ripening grape, and so the reason why I chose it this year for my more full-bodied. I see flames, Danny.
Yes, that's fine.
Is that okay?
I got it.
All right, there's flames over there. We have bread going on. We have all sorts of crazy things happening. But Mourvedre in general is a late ripening grape. And so for me, it was really fun to make a rosé out of it because I harvested it much later than most people would make a rosé out of because the acid stayed pretty dang strong throughout it. And my last rosé, Jim felt was actually more like a Gamay or like a classic Beaujolais that was closer to a red. I mean, in general.
Sort of. It's to me, Beaujolais is a tweener.
Yes.
It's a red varietal that typically is on the skins a little longer.
Yes.
So you get a little more tannic influence, but not that much. And the the varietal grapes that you use are varieties that don't have a lot of skin tannin anyways. And so it's just, you get a little more bang for your buck as far as I'm concerned. It's very fruity and very forward. It knocks your socks off.
Yeah, a lot of cranberry.
Yeah.
I get the cranberry on the nose, I get the cranberry on the palate as well. When I discovered this style of rosé, it actually wasn't in France. It was actually in southern Spain and southern Italy, where they do leave their wines on the skins a little longer for their rosés. And so it has a nice red wine character, but enough acid to where it can be chilled down and have it be a rosé. It's not classic French rosé, but rosé-esque.
Nice and
A
crisp.
light, yeah, a light red that still has some crispness
Yeah.
to it.
And that's typically how I've
Mm.
ever drank it. Was been
Oh,
cold.
very
It's a
nice.
little darker, but it's got a lot of other flavor to it.
Mm.
And you're right. It's really nice with this.
Now, Jim, you know, my farming skills are all about my little garden out in front. And I was afraid I had harvested these tomatoes a little. I think they're actually ripe. I only did this to kind of show off. I think those grapes are actually ripe. I
Well,
don't think they've achieved all their sweetness.
Danny, you did the right thing.
Well, the salad's fantastic.
The salad's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay. The tomatoes, although not fully ripe, really the balsamic you have in there
Yeah,
adds the ripe sweetness.
got the sweetness there.
And with the cheese, it brings it home.
It
Really
does. It's
does.
very nice. Oh my gosh, we love our caprese salads. I'm just a big fan. It's such a great summertime salad for us.
Mhm.
And by September, we've had so many that we're pretty much done. But this is the first time we've actually gotten to enjoy one before the 4th of July.
In the springtime, when you got these little baby tomatoes, they're really ripe off the go.
Yeah.
And then, we had caprese salad. Eliza made some up for us a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow,
Really nice.
awesome.
Really nice. And I think that the body of the rosé adds again to the quality of the experience. That
It's
was a good
hanging
thing.
in there, and I honestly I can't wait for those bacon wrapped shrimp. And it's time for me to get some. We've got to get the shrimp on. We've got to get the steak off the grill. We've got to get our bread going, and then we need to get the shrimp on the thing. Well, let's get that happening.
Okay.
All right, you've got wine. You let me know if you need anything. I'm just gonna be right over here.
I don't need anything else.
I got my
but-
fancy shirt. I don't want to get it all messed up. There we go. Oh, the steak's off and the bread. Okay. All right. I guess Danny decided to get the steak off and he's got the bread going. Let me get the shrimp on. All right. So what we've done today is we've got the prosciutto wrapped and then we've got the bacon wrapped, but it's the bacon that's already done, so I didn't have to worry about poisoning anybody, which is always nice. All right. We've got about 400 degrees. If we were going to be in the middle of a kitchen remodel, but we talked about that online. So we put the shrimp in what was our new oven on a really fantastic thing. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get these babies going. We've got it's looking so good. Oh, we've got our little Cajun drizzle. So we're gonna get that on these guys on the top. That way we'll put those down. We'll be having some fun. Freddie's ready to go for some more shrimp. There we are. And because we did these in the oven, I'm trying to recreate the oven with the flat plate here instead of just putting them right on the grill. And you can hear that sound. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Whoa, stick, don't stick. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Get some more Cajun drizzle on there. And, here's the deal, Jim. This is probably the last time I'm going to do bacon wrapped shrimp. Not just for myself, but for a party.
The public.
It is a pain in the hiney, and I'm just going to buy my bacon wrapped shrimp at a restaurant next time and let somebody else do all the work,
I think,
because it was not easy trying to get everything in there.
yeah, I mean, I think that again, whenever you have this disparity between the things you're cooking
Yes.
and you're trying to cook them at the same time, and they have different cooking temperatures, and it ain't gonna work. And what you need to do is figure out how to do it otherwise.
Maybe the prosciutto is the right move. We'll see. Well, you're going to be the judge,
I'm
because
looking
we've got
forward
these
to it.
prosciuttos happening.
Yeah,
Because since the prosciutto's already cooked, we don't need to worry about that at all. All we need to do is worry about
yeah. I tell you, Brad, the two things that you really brought home for me,
yes.
in our last experience of doing these dinners, that crispy prosciutto, number one. Number two is your cauliflower mashed
Oh
potatoes.
man,
Oh man,
that is the real deal, Jim. I'm serious. That is the
I
closest
love that.
thing. That is so good, and it just adds that little richness and character. That wonderful cauliflower flavor, but very similar to a mashed potato in texture and everything
all those
else.
kind of things. So,
Wow, let's see. I think I've got some more bread to go over here. I'm gonna get some bread on as well. All right, those guys, about 3 or 4 minutes.
now, what are we pairing with the shrimp?
All right, so the shrimp is supposed to be paired with the rosé.
Okay.
And then we've got the amazing corn, Mexican street corn salad that's going to be
Oh.
paired with the Viognier.
Okay.
And then we have the 2016 Reserve Cabernet that is going to be paired with the anti-phase steak
Okay.
strips.
Okay. All right. All right. Very good.
Oh
Well,
my goodness! I think. All right.
so far, the rosé with the caprese salad's been. We don't need to go much further beyond this. It's pretty good.
It is doing fantastic, and I think that it's handling balsamic vinegar, which is actually a toughie, in general. Tomatoes and balsamic, unless you have a nice Chianti, an easygoing red. Tomatoes are good. The balsamic vinegar is a tough thing to pair in general, to me.
I absolutely would agree with you. And part of that problem is that it's vinegar. Vinegar, anytime you can pair it with wine at all, because don't forget, guys, wine wants to become vinegar. Okay?
It's the natural way.
It's the
It's
natural
the
way.
way
It does. And it's really tough to compare that acetic acids
Yes.
of vinegar with the fruit acids of wine. And they just kind of compound one another.
And then balsamic, ends up having a sweet characteristic too,
It should,
which
yeah.
honestly ends up interfering with the wine too. So it has a high acid, and then it has a high sugar, and that ends up making a tough pairing. So I'm going to say the Caprese is fantastic. But when I was in Italy, typically I would go with a classic light rosé, not worried about how the balsamic was going to ruin the rosé. I just needed the Caprese, and that beautiful buffalo mozzarella is what I needed in my body, and I needed a glass of wine to go with it, so it was a rosé. And
well, the thing is, what I'm just tasting up this again. Remember the real thing about Beaujolais.
yes,
Remember we talked about this, and what I'm bringing this home is that the wine taste to me, it's a little bit low in acid.
okay,
Okay.
yep. Oh, for a classic rosé, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I need to balance that, because it's dang near a red, so it can't be too high.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So,
That's what I'm saying.
yes.
Is that it's a little low on the acid. So what you
Oh,
got
man.
here is you got the perfect wine that could go quite well with a balsamic vinegar.
Yes, I think it's
Balsamic
really
vinegar
nice.
The balsamic provides the Ac- acidity. Oh yeah. I thought you were adding that to me.
Oh, it's not done yet. I don't want to. I love you. I don't want. I don't want you to end up with some sort of
I'm
shrimp
there for you.
poisoning.
You know,
All right.
I'm like Freddie here. Okay, anything you drop in my way.
Oh my gosh! Here's the exciting thing, Jim. You know what? I my original recipe was in the oven for these things. I'm loving it better on the grill. It's absolutely
Now
fantastic.
that plate you have there, now that you're cooking, it's kind
Well,
of.
I was
What's
worried about the bacon fat dripping through and then causing the flare-ups. And so we got a little griddle that we've got over the stove, and that's preventing it from flaring up with all those wonderful fats dripping down.
oh nice.
And then I'm preserving all those delicious fats for everything. Well, look at that going in there. And then how's the steak too? Is the steak doing okay?
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
so we're getting some really nice caramelization, just like we would have if we would have done it in the oven on a cookie sheet. So that's why we put this little griddle inside
I
here.
kind of like that. I might get one for me.
And then this griddle's fantastic. And the other thing that I discovered when I had no kitchen but was trying to use this as an oven, but was worried about flare-ups, they have these cooking mats now.
I've used the cooking mats before.
So this is kind of mimicking the cooking mat with the
for
exception that it
vegetarian
has this nice well.
Ah. The
All right, bread is looking good.
you know we have cooking mats which we use for vegetables and things.
Yes, so the veggies don't fall through.
Exactly.
And I was just really
like this idea.
concerned. And honestly, I really hope y'all can see. Oh my gosh, just a fantastic color.
Look closer.
I know. Oh, a
You
little
can't
closer,
see it there.
a little
I
closer.
can't see it.
Oh, ow. Oh, so hot and delicious. There we go. And we've got about a minute and a half. I'm going to get this bread. Oh, we've got, bubbly bread. Can't go wrong with that. All right, the bread's going to come over here. Danny's going to work on that. I'm going to take that little bit of flame, get some extra flame on the bread. He's going to get that. We've got about 2 minutes before we're ready to go. So I probably should open up some red wine. I'm going to give the tongs back to Danny. Oh, no, I'm going to leave the tongs here because I'm going to need those to get that shrimp out. Oh, there's a bottle of red wine right here. Look at that. Holy mackerel.
Handy dandy.
That
Uh-oh.
is perfect.
I guess I need to make an empty glass for your wine.
Well, we've got yes. I think we should, actually, you know what we could do? We could talk about the wine before we even start with the food. We can do that.
We did kind of already with
Yeah,
the rosé.
I'm gonna leave the rosé there. You know what? I didn't bring enough glassware.
It's an appalling
Are we going to be okay?
We'll,
No, everybody
okay.
relax.
We'll get our
Everybody
people
relax.
right on that.
Because are we going to get the people on it?
People are on it.
All right, our people are on it.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. So that way we don't contaminate the red with that.
Thank you, Grady.
That's
Yay.
great. He's going to be in here shortly. And if you've ever made it to our tasting room or ever listened to our phone messages, you know who Grady is.
Well, Grady is our personal assistant tonight.
Yes, and he's here with us. And so here's our reserve 2016
I don't think I've ever tasted it.
Cabernet. I don't think you have. I think you've only enjoyed the 14 reserve.
Thanks.
This is a relatively new release for us. So this is, it's Cabernet. It's got a little splash of Petit Verdot. It's got a little splash of Cabernet Franc. What would be probably a classic left bank Bordeaux left bank.
Ooh.
I
Oh.
know. I'm bringing it all in, Jim. I've got this whole thing down. So it would be a left bank style Bordeaux, and we just happen to be on the left bank of Alexander Valley, which produces some pretty damn good cabs too.
Yep, you bet. We're really very proud of our Alexander Valley.
Oh my God.
Alexander Valley is a world-class place to grow grapes.
Yes.
Period. Okay.
It's why I'm here. You want to know why I'm here?
No.
Well, I'm crazy, first of all. But second of all, I'm here because
I can believe the crazy
the-
part.
there's no better region on the planet to grow grapes than the Alexander Valley, especially if you like more than one grape varietal. Because Alexander Valley is so special that we can grow Cabernet, Chardonnay, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, Petit Syrah, Syrah, because we have these wonderful different microclimates. Jim has all these wonderful hillsides, and if something needs a little shade, so he'll put it over on the side so it doesn't get all the morning sun, maybe some later afternoon sun.
Mhm.
And our soil is the best. We have absolutely fantastic soil mixed with a lot of volcanic, which volcanic soil is classically been a great soil to grow in.
Along with challenging soils
Of
and challenging soils. I mean,
All right,
I farm
you did it.
challenging soils. You know, it's like when I was growing up
Yes.
in grade school, they always said I was challenged. You
I
know,
think there's some smoke. I'm gonna stand up. You keep going on challenging soils. I see smoke. I'm gonna come over here and
you
see
know,
what's happening.
what's really neat about Alexander Valley and what makes it a world-class spot. It's a long, narrow valley, which means that the colder end of it that way, you know, and Brad's place, you know, we're at the end of the road, you know, you call it the you know, end of the road. However, end of Chianti Road,
It's where all the
which is
good
my
times.
road.
It's where all the good times happen.
But
You just happen to be
it's
in the straits.
in the darn middle of the valley.
Yes.
Okay, that's when important are. South of the valley, south of Geyserville, you know, is a cooler region, and it's because the valley fills with the fog from the the valley below, and so southern part of the valley, yeah, you have Sauvignon Blanc, you have Chardonnay, you have those cool, loving varietals. As you grow northward, you're getting into Cabernet country, Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, Malbec. Boy, that smells good.
Man, oh, Jim, these are looking fantastic. Again, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get in close. We're gonna tip up so we don't lose them. There we go. But I can, you know what I can smell? I smell the prosciutto over the bacon. I've got to make sure Danny gets us a prosciutto plus the bacon. With that, let me get this thing shut down so we don't end up with any
Forest fire.
anything crazy because we do it for trees. Oh my
Uh-oh.
goodness. Hey Grady, what are you doing back there?
He's sneaking
You
around.
lost your condenser.
Oh, am I being louder than normal?
Blowing out the whole hootenanny just now.
Hang on one second while I put
Hello?
my condenser back.
Hello? Hello?
Make sure we have
Hello?
prosciutto when you put it where we can see it.
Condenser? Hello? Oh,
All right.
here's your
Everybody
condenser.
stand by because we are professionals. I will stick this back on there. And
Oh
here's,
my God, it sounds amazing.
you know what's amazing about it is that I have much smoother tones and
Oh.
everybody's going to be able to
Clip it a
understand
little
what's
bit
going on.
lower
I'm
so
just
you
gonna-
don't blow poor JJ's ears out.
All right, I'm getting rid of this. You know, we are pretty fantastic here. I'm gonna get rid of my apron because I'm gonna have some nice dinner. We're getting ready. Danny's over there chopping and walking and getting all of our getting everything ready to go. There we go.
Yay.
Holy mackerel. All right, I'm gonna put this to where I won't lose that again. We are live, not Memorex.
Okay.
There we go.
Anyways, I was saying about the Alexander Valley. It has, because it's so long and narrow, the northern parts are warmer. And that's why the Asti area of the old Italian Swiss colony is so world famous for high quality wines. We have to remember historically that the Italian Swiss colony won the Paris Exposition of 1896, 04, 08, and 12. They made the best wines in the world.
Wait a minute. I heard that Napa won all those things.
Yeah, no, that
Oh,
was,
they only won it once.
and that's only once in 1976.
Exactly.
Asti did it long before then. We forget our history sometimes, and we have to remember that. The fact is that we did the best wines anywhere.
I agree.
Okay, and we can do that again,
You know,
and we will do it again.
I'm going to back that up with Napa agreed too. Before we drew boundaries between valleys, where did Napa get most of its grapes? Is that a
Actually,
question I should ask, or
no.
should
Well,
I
the
should I
fact that
not ask that question?
well, okay, nah, maybe.
Before
Uh,
our boundaries were, I'll go ahead and say, because
Well,
I don't have the reputation that he does, but Napa
we
got
did.
most of its award-winning grapes from Alexander Valley.
I actually used to sell grapes to a winery in Napa Valley.
All of them bought grapes from here.
They did.
All of the named Napa wineries before we had boundaries where they couldn't call it Napa had grapes that were grown over here, and that's actually when they got all of their best awards. And then when they drew the boundaries, we started getting more awards.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But
Yes.
the thing is that um, we, the Alexander Valley, is really pretty cool spot, and it's because it's so long and narrow. There are a lot of districts within.
Yes.
You call it, um, uh,
Or little mini AVAs or
whatever.
mini.
Yeah. Areas that we grow. I'm inclined to call it districts. And up above, northward, we have Cloverdale district. Below that, up in Cloverdale, you have that wide plain around Cloverdale, and just actually beside the Russian River.
But don't you restrict all the fog from going to Coverdale because of you jut out? Jim's property juts out into Alexander Valley and sort of restricts the fog
Well,
from getting up there.
Chianti Mountain is right in the middle of the valley, the center of the valley, and so if you have that Cloverdale district, below that would be Asti district, and that's the area from Dutcher Creek, basically to Asti Mountain. Now, the old folks drew a line between Chianti Mountain and Asti Mountain, and Asti is the one just a little bit north of us, and we farm the eastern facing slope of Chianti Mountain. They drew a line between that, and they said Asti North, Chianti South, and that's what they did. And they recognized how unique that district was.
I agree.
Beyond, then you have the Geyserville district. Geyserville district, ta-da. Okay.
There,
I know.
I think it's unique because I'm there. Or
okay, yeah, okay. Yes, Brad.
Sorry.
You're
I know, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
Well, that's very true. Anyways, so that encompasses wide plain around Geyserville, which gets a lot of the same properties that I do. The heat and the ripeness.
But the fog does roll through. So as it comes out of Healdsburg, as it hits the mountains and then goes north and south, as the fog, because the Rush River comes through, we get a little earlier than Cloverdale.
Correct.
And then I was talking about, you cut off most of the fog in your property to Cloverdale because it has to get around your mountain before it can get up to theirs. And so we tend to be 5 to 8 degrees cooler.
Yes. The thing is that, got to remember Alexander Valley feels like a tube.
Yes.
From the bottom up.
Yes.
Okay. The bottom end of the valley, Jimtown, Shiloh Road, those areas.
Healdsburg.
Healdsburg. No, Healdsburg, not part of it.
The sad parts of the valley.
No, the end of the valley is Shiloh Road, and Jimtown. Those guys get the weather before we do. Yes. They get it like
Chuck Hill, because it comes around Shiloh, Chuck Hill, then it funnels around because there's that thumb mountain in the middle of Healdsburg. You are correct. There's a thumb mountain, big old mountain in the middle of Healdsburg. So the Fitch. So it comes around, and the fog hits Shiloh in North Windsor, and then it circles back around through Chalk Hill, and then comes and gets us.
Yeah, exactly. So they're getting cold weather, the fog at maybe 6 or 7 in the evening. Okay, you don't get it at Geyserville until about maybe 10 or 11.
That is correct.
Okay, I don't get it until about 2 in the morning.
And then it rolls backwards the exact.
Exactly
and
right.
Cloverdale gets it at 6, and at 7 it starts rolling back. Sorry, Grady.
Well,
actually, Danny looks like he wants to give us some food.
Oh, Dang.
Oh,
Come
we're
on in,
ready?
Dan. All right.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Here we go. We have anti-phase steak strips with bacon wrapped shrimp is on the bottom and the prosciutto is on top.
Okay.
Okay. And then your corn salad.
That looks absolutely delicious.
Yes.
Now, how's the bread season?
And garlic bread with some herb oil in it as well.
Nice.
Yes.
Did we get a little shake of dill on there?
Oh,
no
I
dill?
forgot. No dill. Here.
That's
here, we got
okay.
dill.
Without the dill, that's fine. But garlic and oil, that sounds fine. No, it's okay.
Mm.
Oh, you're right. Good garlic. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome.
Absolutely
That bread's
fantastic.
nice. I like it. Now, where's the bread from?
Cousteau's, of course. So we have a fantastic bread company
Cusco. Yeah.
down in Healdsburg, and
Nice local company.
I was picking up all my last minute things this morning and got a little bread from them.
Okay.
So this
Nice.
is it's not their sourdough French. This is actually I think they're Italian. I'm sorry, I can't remember which one I got. I was just looking for something that had some nice crustiness to it that would pair nicely with everything else.
Yeah.
So the way we did it, and we've got our 3 glasses here, is that we've got the corn salad that we're supposed to pair with the viognier. We've got the steak that we're supposed to pair with the Cabernet, and then we've got the shrimp. But I think we need to go to the shrimp just because you wanted me to do prosciutto. Was prosciutto on top, Danny?
Prosciutto was on top. Bacon
All right.
was on bottom.
Yeah, that
Oh.
looks like prosciutto. All right, so you got prosciutto on top, and that one's supposed to be with the rosé, and you're out.
Yep.
So let me get you a little rosé.
Okay.
And let's go shrimp, corn steak, or I don't know. Let's figure it out. I have no idea. We'll be fine. Oh, I probably should have got a little bit of that as well. All right, so when I produced the video for everybody, the prosciutto was much easier to wrap. So I liked the prosciutto because it was easy to wrap.
Man,
Crispy, salty, shrimpy.
cheers, my friend. That was really good.
Oh, man. Well, it was your idea. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really good.
That's great.
And you know what? I think the rosé actually makes it. It comes through. It handles the salt. It handles the fat from the bacon.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't even notice the little bit of jalapeno that was. It was just a little sliver. There's no heat that I'm getting from this. I might get some herbaceous green flavors.
Flavor.
But the prosciutto is not bad. And, I bought my prosciutto from our local, from Big John's, of course. And, nice and thinly sliced, very thin. And of course, half of it broke apart. Just do your best in folding it over, wrapping it up. I think it's very nice.
I find that if I put it on wax paper,
Helps.
it really works well for wrapping. And by the way, Danny, great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely delicious. All right, I'll do an actual traditional bacon as well. As everything's coming apart there. There we go. So we have a more smoky than salty.
Yep.
I actually get more shrimp flavor, and I get a little more of the jalapeno. Again, not a hot jalapeno, but I'm getting more jalapeno green flavor.
Yeah. Again, what's surprising to me is how well the rosé is holding up to that complex flavors.
That's why I love it.
That rich, oily,
Right.
bacony flavors.
You got a lot of fat running around. And like you were saying, when you were drinking it, you didn't notice a lot of high acid, like a classic rosé. But a classic rosé with this, classic rosé and bacon just isn't going to make it. but this does, because it's closer to a red. So also I've got tannins involved too, Jim. So, this is, you can see the color of that rosé right now. That is a dark rosé. That means that there's a lot of pigment and color from the skins. And so we have some tannins working
Mhm.
along with it.
Yeah.
And then Grady's going to be in here in a minute, and he's going to be talking about the anti-phase steak strips. But first, I do want to try the Mexican street corn. And I've had it. Here's the deal. I grew up on the border, or at least close to the border. I spent a lot of time in Mexico as I was growing up, and street corn and street tacos were part of my life. But I always found that when I was eating the street corn down there, that all my goodies fell off because it was just loaded with goodies with the cheese and all of those other fun things. And so turning it into a salad, I think, was a good idea, and I definitely want to try that. I'm gonna finish this. Oh, yum.
Yep.
Freddie says a little bit of bread, please, Dad. There you go, Fred. All right. And then, even though it's a south of the border recipe, it is not a hot recipe, right? But it has all of the south of the border classic flavors to it. We have a little bit of the avocado in there. Of course, we have the corn that's been caramelized perfectly because we did it on the grill.
Cilantro.
A lot of cilantro.
I love cilantro.
Me too. And then for those of you that think cilantro tastes like soap, that's okay. 10% of the world does. Leave it out of the recipe. I would rather you leave it out than have it taste like soap.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some nice acid because we have a lot of lime in there. We have cilantro. We have the smoked paprika. We have a little bit of cumin. We have the sweetness from the corn. We have the creaminess from the avocado, the sour cream, and the mayonnaise.
The wine to me is tasting really lovely, brighter, fluffier,
It brightens it
and
up.
fruitier. Yeah.
I love this pairing. Because of the sweetness of corn, I was worried that it wasn't going to be a great pairing because Viognier can handle spicy or heat, I believe, in general, because I've had it many times with, Asian or spicy foods. But I'm loving it with the corn aspect, adding that creaminess.
It just, the aromatic whites, Riesling, Viognier, Gewürztraminer, Muscat really get, really abused because everyone thinks they need to be, sweet, syrupy, bitter, whatever. Tastes like diesel.
And there's no sweetness here.
No,
right.
No, it's dry.
It's actually pairing nicely because these wines can be sweet, but it's pairing nicely with the sweetness of the
salad.
of the salad.
Yeah.
Really, I've been making the anti-phase steaks. Well, I've been enjoying the anti-phase steak strips ever since I can remember. I've been making it my entire life, and I love it. But my favorite pairing right now is actually the corn salad and the Viognier. The other thing I like about it is that you can prepare this ahead of time. You can do this the day before. So if you're throwing a party, you can have this done, and it's one thing off your checklist. And I love it. But the Viognier, to me, I'm going to say,
does this have avocado in it?
It does, just a little bit. Did you not find it yet?
No, I find the oiliness.
Yeah, it is in there. It's absolutely in there. But what I find about the Viognier in this is that this is not a classic pairing. I don't know anybody that's pairing Mexican street corn with Viognier, but I like it very much.
I do.
Because, the Viognier that you and I both make, again, are dry, first of all.
Yep.
That's what makes them, that's what's important to me. Second of all, they have a mid viscosity, but with the viscosity of the salad, the sweetness, the spice, it's bringing everything together for me. And I certainly hope you guys, it's bringing together too. And if anybody else is out there enjoying the Mexican Corsal, please let us know. Let us know if you're enjoying it. I think this is the best pairing of the meal. I mean, the cab and the steak is going to be obviously pretty classic, with the exception of the soy sauce and there's sugar. So soy sauce and sugar in the steak is going to give me some red flags, but I
Yep.
think it goes pretty nicely. But the Viognier in the salad is my favorite.
Yeah, me too. Actually, pretty
Rose
spectacular.
handled the fat of the bacon, and then
Mhm.
the Viognier in the salad.
Okay.
Really it. All right, are we going in?
Go
And then
ahead.
Grady, enjoy some of the steak,
Yes, sir.
and then come and tell us what you're
Good
thinking.
is.
And then Danny, if you would shut this thing up, is everything off over here?
I think so. But
All right.
I'll, double check.
Mm. That is, yeah, the salad and the oh man. And honestly, if you would have told me the Mexican street corn and the Viognier was your pairing, I've been hoping, wow, I hope it works. That's one of my favorites.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, let's get into the meat and bones.
Now,
I'll have to steal a little of that delicious messenger, sir.
Oh, you
You
don't
don't
have any
mind.
messenger out there?
No, can you believe that? We saved it all for
Well,
you.
we can't afford the staff to. Jim's a little light.
It's looking a little light there, sir.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God.
And you
Now
know,
we're cooking.
the nice
But,
man over there.
apparently, and then Dan.
Oh wait, is that rosé brand?
Just come over. Just go.
Sorry, wrong glass.
That's okay.
Well, you know, I drink for a
We'll-
living, so these things happen.
We'll make that good.
Ah. I did bring a little
All
picture,
right.
Brad.
So for those of you guys that
Bring
don't
that.
know, this is Grady. This is my
Everybody.
brother. He runs and manages a tasting room. He's absolutely fantastic. If you've ever been to our tasting
We
room,
have so much
you
fun.
would absolutely know who Grady is. But so he's here today just to say hi, because he hasn't been involved in any of these things.
I
But
haven't,
now
I
you are.
haven't had any of the fun.
Yeah.
So I've been watching them after, but this is a lot more fun. It's actually much more fun hanging out with you guys and eating steak strips
Mm.
and drinking delicious wine and maybe a little champagne. We might have had some of that. That was pretty good. North Coast Sparkler, of course, for people who really care.
That's
All right. So any face steak strips, kids.
Cheers.
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 Wow.
So
Well,
This is a home. This is an old home phone favorite.
now,
Mm.
so how do you think it holds up to the wine?
Most of my life growing up, I did not pair it with wine. Backyard beers, margaritas, it was always fantastic. But there is something about the Cabernet that takes a delicious steak strip and a sublime wine, and together they sing. This is truly, when you talk about food pairings, when you talk about how flavors accentuate each other, all that beautiful cherry takes all that ginger and spice and just brings it to the next level. Freddie.
I think it does.
Lucky
I think what Grady's trying to talk about is that ginger, soy sauce,
Yep.
not classic red wine, American red wine pairings anyway. But what I do is I like it. The meat has its flavor,
Yep.
And it's fantastic and great on its own. I think it does something to the Cabernet that is very interesting. You know, talk about fermented, and we've got the soy sauce is a fermented thing,
Right.
and so even though they have very striking different flavors, I think that the Cabernet goes together very nicely with it.
It pulls me apart.
It wouldn't be like if I was just trying to create a food pairing and imagining it in my head, I wouldn't think that it goes
Mhm.
as good as it does for me.
Well,
Wow.
what the interesting thing for me is that this lean cut of steak,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, it's not a ribeye by any
And,
means.
exactly.
It's not a fatty piece of meat.
and it typically this is the lower
Mhm.
cut of meat, less tender.
Well, this is why it's my family's favorite cut.
because
Well,
it's what we could afford.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact is that what happens is that the what you've marinated it
Mhm.
has changed the fabric of
Completely.
the steak.
You're correct.
And-
This
and-
was this is why it's the 1970s
Right.
anti-phase steak strip marinade, because in the 70s, the flank steak would have been probably 22 cents a pound,
Yeah.
maybe 18,
Yeah.
compared to a ribeye or a New York
$2,
that
yeah.
might be
Sure.
50 or 60 cents. And so what they discovered in the 70s is they started marinating things, and the soy sauce was able to get in there and work its way with the meat and take a tough cut of meat, sort of like short ribs, right?
Yeah.
Where the short ribs were Freddy's. Freddy's on Jim's
Freddie
lap.
likes them as much
He's
as
like, "Oh my
maybe a
lord,
little
Freddy,
more.
come
Drooling
here,
all over me.
Freddie,
Well, thank goodness
come
we
here,
made a
hands,
napkin there in case
come
of
here,
drool.
hands."
Yeah, okay.
Um,
But more than that, he'll put his
but
head over
it
here.
was the peasant cuts that I think ended up being the best cuts,
It's absolutely best.
because the fancy folks could have the delicious stuff, but they didn't do anything to it.
Mhm.
But just like short ribs, in Spain, that was the worst cut that took the most
Yeah.
time to bring out the best flavor. But when
But
the
if you
flavor
take the
came out,
time,
it was
and this
fantastic.
marinade, I mean, how long did you leave the marinade? Overnight?
Yeah, so this was an overnight for me because
Mhm.
we had a lot of things to do today.
There's a lot
And
going on.
we had our friends coming over
We
to
had
enjoy with us.
Life going on. Yeah.
So we grilled the corn last night for the Mexican street corn salsa. We did all the chopping and walking and all those absolutely fantastic things last night. And we marinated the steak. But now if you were going to do, because,
Right.
here's what's crazy. Where the flank steak used to be the 10-cent cut. And then as I was growing up, it ended up being 29 cents. And then mom was mad at 29 cents, so she switched over to London broil that was back at 10 cents a pound.
And London broil.
Yeah.
And so London broil is great.
Yeah.
It works wonderful with this recipe,
does.
with the exception of what you need to do is you got to slice London broil because it's very dense. Again,
Mhm.
another no fat meat, right?
Yeah.
There's no fat. It's very lean, good, healthy, but there's not a lot of fat in it. So if you slice it thinner, it takes the marinade can penetrate.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yep.
And it doesn't take
And then
very long.
I've
It is
done
so
this
worth
with
it.
skirt. Oh my lord, with skirt steak.
Thank you. I'm gonna go get more steaming
All right,
steak.
hey, thanks, great.
Thank you.
And hey,
This was fun.
did you enjoy the pairing? I'm sorry,
I would
I wasn't
say
really
the
paying
pouring
attention.
was exactly
the
perfect.
pouring
The
of the
pouring was
pairing.
good because I got the right amount of
All
wine.
right,
And the pairing was
and
also
apparently this is
spectacular.
the only bottle of Cabernet we have open
It
today.
is the only one we have. Sorry. I have another one over here.
Well, that's a little rude.
I will go open the other one.
I would say we should open some more
Okay, we'll open some more, but
for our friends and
God
family.
bless America, kids. If this wine and that steak are not the perfect pairing,
I think it's
I
very
don't know
nice.
what it is.
It's very
I don't
nice.
know.
I'm right. I'm right with you.
It's stunning in every way.
Again,
I say
li-
it's different,
I-
but I like it.
I like it. I mean, I like typically with a steak, you put salt on it.
Yes.
After after you slice it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, I like that salty coating
Okay.
that adds that wonderful flavor to it.
Absolutely.
And so you don't see
Did
any
we get
salt.
it? Did we get enough salt in there, or you would like a little extra salt on the side?
No, not at all.
Because the Worcestershire was supposed to be doing, not the Worcestershire, the
Soy sauce.
soy sauce was supposed to be doing all of the
They
salty
did.
action.
It did. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
We're all making yummy noises over here.
All right, that's fantastic. Holy mackerel! Running a little late today on our show, but
I didn't notice.
I'm okay with that. We haven't gotten to JJ's creme brulee, and
Oh,
I just want to take another minute or two to enjoy a little more of this. And then we're going to go into the creme brulee right after that.
I've been really waiting on JJ's creme brulee because I'm a creme brulee fan.
Uh-oh.
I've actually tasted creme brulees around the world,
JJ,
and
did you hear that? Around the world.
I
heard
it.
Yeah. Michelin star places
Oh,
that make creme brulee. Okay,
well,
because that's what I do.
should I?
I like
All
custard.
right. Did I mention we didn't have a kitchen? So we don't have a stove.
Okay, so
But
what you're saying is creme brulee. That JJ made the little crock out there in some rocks
he did.
and the forest. That
He
he
made a
personally
forest
cut.
stove to get his creme brulee cooked properly. And here's the thing. He did a great job. I think I did a pretty good job with my shrimp without an oven. JJ had to
Okay.
do creme brulee without an oven.
Okay, do
Alright,
I need to get a
And more ado. All right,
do I
bring it
need to
on.
get- do I need to get out my violin?
All right. May I?
Actually,
Yes, sir.
I'm just waiting for your facial explosion of what's going on. So JJ, come on here and tell us what's going on.
Right.
All
This is the
right.
famous JJ.
That
Hello, everyone.
this is what keeps us going, keeps us online,
That's right.
Yes.
and puts these things all together so you can watch them later on YouTube.
Yeah.
That is true.
So what happened? What happened this week, JJ?
So this was the first time I tried sous videing a creme brulee. So these creme brulees are completely sous videed. We spent probably 3 hours just cooking, and then you have to let them chill. And so we spent a lot of time on it, and well, mostly me, but
I
I
was watching.
We,
I was
mouse in
watching.
your pocket.
you were
What are you
watching.
talking about? I was
You guys were my
watching.
moral support.
I was saying,
Yeah, you're the
I
moral
hope it
support,
tastes
for
good.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it turned out pretty well, and I hope you guys like it.
So
What is this?
What do we have
So,
here?
That is a little bit of mint from
So-
our garden.
So JJ threw a little mint. He's going for Michelin stars, obviously. So we have a little mint rolling around on top, and then we've got a brown berry and a what looks like a red berry.
Raspberry.
Both are raspberries. The raspberries that are brown are coated in a cocoa powder,
Nice.
Oh,
and
because
have
they should
added a
pair
little bit of
well with?
sugar, and they should pair really well with the wine that you guys are drinking.
All right, all
Um,
right, Jim. Well,
Well, I hope you guys.
let's
enjoy it.
dig
well,
in.
We're gonna have to do this first of all.
You got to disperse the mint.
Gotta
All
make
right,
the
so
mint.
Jim's got
Now-
the mint
Hey
dispersal.
JJ,
What's up?
what are you pairing it with?
I am pairing it with the messenger.
That's why he threw the cocoa dusted raspberries in to add a little chocolatey character that has no sugar
Okay.
content
Right?
component because everything else is so sweet. But also he chose that because you have the caramelization of the sugar that's also going to get those caramely flavors, which you and I are trying to get out of the barrel.
All right.
Here we go. All right, we're going in. Oh, we're cracking the top. Very nice. Oh my God, that fly was going to get me. Mm. I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. JJ was wondering and worried if the sous vide was going to give it the creamy character that it should have. And he was
Question.
also wondering if in these cute little jars that he put it in, that we were going to get the warmth all the way through to give it a good custard texture. What do you think?
Got a nice custard characteristic to it. Nice flavor, my lord. Okay. Interestingly enough,
Come here, JJ. Come here. Come on. Get it, cat. Get it screen. All right. This is a professional. It's a professional taster here.
Um, the 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 body medium is nice.
Excellent.
Good. Okay.
How's the wine pairing?
I'm worried about the. I'm working. Oh, how Grady said, "Well, how's the wine pairing?" I'm not even worrying about that right now because I'm so enjoying this.
I like the raspberry coated chocolate.
Okay, that little bit of chocolate on the raspberry.
That was also your idea.
Well,
It was your idea. You
We
can
were-
take credit. You can take credit.
we were talking about how would we make this great with the Cabernet. We all know that a chocolatey tone is nice. We all know that the velvety texture of a creme brulee is nice, and then that caramelized sugar, because we have caramelized sugars in our barrels. When we toast them,
You bet.
we do that.
Yeah, you
And
bet.
so, let's see.
What I was going to come up with something different, and that is, weren't you up at our place tasting up your port?
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Well, Jim, I can't promote the new port right now because we didn't have it out. Do you know what would go great with this?
Mhm.
All right. I I don't know what to call it. It is a late harvest slash fortified slash I don't know what to call it wine.
Okay, what it is, it's classic.
Try
I
this?
might need to get
Have
it.
you tried this?
I have not tried
Would you
it.
get a
no.
glass?
Here.
Get a glass and get
Yeah.
come back and get some cab.
Okay,
I'm gonna leave this for JJ
I
so
know.
you can get that.
yeah. We were tasting up, this classical um not port.
I can't call it port because we
It's-
didn't stop the fermentation with
With alcohol.
spirits.
That's correct.
So it's sort of a late harvest,
No,
but it's been fortified.
that's correct. And once it's finished fermentation, it has all the residual sugars left.
Right. So we've got something that has some residual sugar.
Yep.
That's been fortified but not stopped the fermentation process.
Mhm.
I'm
And
back.
you got to get in here, JJ. All right. See, I really am curious. JJ has an absolutely fantastic palate. So I would love it if you would try it with your raspberry, and then obviously there's the caramelization.
All right, let me try it.
We have a question.
But
may
we have a
Yes.
good question.
I? Okay. Considering opening a J. Ricard's Gewürztraminer with the creme brulee, are we crazy or brilliant?
Brilliant.
Ah, wow.
Okay.
If you
That's
didn't
a-
hear, just real quick, someone's considering opening up a Gewürztraminer with the creme brulee. Is it brilliant? Or are they crazy?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm thinking that the Gewürz is it's a kind of a wine that makes a liar out of your nose. Okay. You smell it, it smells sweet, right? You taste it, and it's dry as a bone.
Yes.
Okay. So the answer is you have a yin and yang here
Yes.
sort of situation.
Here's the thing: the Gewürztraminer is not sweet. This is not super sweet.
But it's rich. That's the
But
take
you've
home.
got really good acid in your Gewürz.
Can get
I
one more
think
bite
it-
of that?
Oh, you do the bite because I don't have anything
the
like
outside.
Jim's. I don't have anything like Jim's Gewürz.
Outside. different
But
flavor.
I'm going to go with my Viognier because Viognier and Gewürztraminer have the same body.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Sous
All right.
vide,
So
not necessarily the thing.
It's not. Yeah, no. I get it. Well, and part of it is the jars.
we don't have a kitchen.
The way that the jars work. They, this is exactly what I was afraid about, is that they weren't gonna be able to cook everything completely evenly, and then that the outsides were gonna be a little bit too much cooked, and then the insides were gonna be maybe a little too soft.
Right. I'm
Right
going to
on.
say go with the Gewürz because I just had some Viognier. And the Gewürz has more body than the Viognier. And I'm not doing the caramelization, so I'm going on the sides where it's just the custard.
Try this.
And because your
Here.
Gewürz doesn't have any sugar.
Okay. Hold
Um,
Sorry.
well, you know you're gonna love his Gewürz. The aromatics are fantastic. A beautifully dry wine. I think I would absolutely open the Gewürz. And I'm only basing it off of the Viognier because the Viognier to me has the same viscosity as a Gewürz does.
Yeah.
So I would say go for it. You'll be okay.
Me too.
Oh, Jim, you are correct. Up on top, it doesn't have the velvety texture.
Change a little bit.
But hey, JJ had to work with it. We had no oven. He had to do his thing. Did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, JJ. Great job.
But the thing is as a creator, you live and learn.
Mhm.
Every day's a new adventure. We see that often as we farm grapes, as we make wine. You know,
For sure.
you're the reality is that every year you only get one lesson.
Yes.
The fact is that we take that lesson and move forward.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no way I could use the oven. Normally what I do is I take a deep dish and I will pour water in it and it cooks it perfectly every time, for me at least.
That makes it an even cooking because the variation in the temperature of an oven
Mhm.
can't vary the temperature of the water.
Yeah.
And that's what you were
That-
trying to mitigate
Yeah.
when you're doing an oven bake.
Well,
But with the sous vide, it didn't do it
Well,
completely.
the thing is that again, sous vide, maybe instead of 35 minutes at 140 degrees or whatever,
Yeah, maybe it
108.
needed,
it should whatever it needed 10 minutes longer or whatever.
or
I
10
don't
minutes
know.
shorter or
I've
whatever it
never
needed.
cooked sous
And
vide.
neither had he.
I'm going to learn.
So, yeah.
But here's the thing. I think here's the deal. I think for a one-off.
I am not going to sous vide again.
What? No, I'm
Not
fine with
this
it.
one specifically. No, the,
What is wrong with that?
No, I would do that again because I think you can do
I
it.
think the way that I do it normally is perfect, and I think that sous videing it, I want to sous vide other things, but the creme brulee I kind of have down. So
Okay.
All right. Well, he had to work really hard, and we're like, hey, we've got no oven, so you better figure it out, yo. So we bought a $200. No, we got gifted a beautiful jewel sous vide by our good friends,
I can
and
make it.
so he was able to sous vide with
I
the
think
bag.
that sous vide is a challenge. I think it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, especially for
Actually,
those of us that have cooked without
I've
tempered
I've
water.
not done that before, and I'm interested in doing that again. And I will.
Yeah, us too. We have been working with sous vide for probably about trying out. We've been trying out different recipes with the sous vide for the last probably 8, 9, maybe the last year and a half. And you have to learn new techniques.
Yes.
But that's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a thing. So JJ did his best. I think his best was fantastic. I think that was a nice creme brulee
he's a good,
without an oven.
he's a good kid.
I think he did a great job.
He's a good kid.
It's fantastic.
And he did the right thing. And we move on and we learn things.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think that's great. Well, my friend, hey, is it what's happening at your winery these days?
Okay, so we're open. We're taking reservations only, and more than that, we have left bank. And I actually have to say, I apologize.
We do. We have to apologize. You're right.
I apologize about left bank, and left bank sold out so soon.
That's why we're
we-
apologizing, not because it's a bad event, but because
We couldn't offer more tickets.
it sold out so quickly.
And our goal is to do another one next year, in April. And
That'd be new.
that's going to happen. And that's our typical type of thing. It'll be somewhat similar to this year. But more than that, I want you all be aware of that fact. When we send out the notice,
Yes.
sign up. It's very limited. We do that on purpose because Brad and I, Maddie, and Julie, and Petruccelli, we really don't want to have large crowds. We want to spend time with you.
Yes. We want to make it special for us and for you. We don't enjoy the crowds like you don't enjoy the crowds. So we limit the amount of tickets so that everybody has an opportunity to talk to Jim and talk to me and talk to Julie and talk to Maddie and talk to Bob Dog and talk to everybody in our
Left bank.
left bank. And so it's really important to us that you get that opportunity. If we sold more tickets, you couldn't. So please don't be upset with us that you didn't get into this event, but be aware that every time we let you know there's an event coming up, respond immediately. Please let us know that you want to come right away, so that we can get you into these events, because we have so many great club members that want to come, but
a lot of people want to come.
completely sold out. So if you see our events, please be aware
And you
that you need to respond
get your tickets
right away, because we've got a lot of feedback that it sold out too quickly. But now that you know that it sells out quickly, our feedback is that you should respond quickly. So that's
right.
That's the deal. Please, we want you to attend. But we all, the reason why you want to attend is because it is a small, intimate venue that you get to enjoy all the things that we're doing.
But more than that, you want to see me.
Yes, you want to talk to Jim. Who doesn't? And then when you do talk to Jim, you'll be sucked in for 3 to 6 hours, and you're not going to go anywhere else.
Oh,
but that's okay. That's the truth.
No, wait a second. It's only 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
3 to 6 hours, 20 minutes. It's all the same.
Jim's rule, third rule of wine tasting is always never ask Jim a question if you're expecting it, unless you're expecting a 20-minute answer. That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of that, we have a question.
Oh, we have a question.
Somebody asked, how can we purchase Brad's wine?
Oh my Lord. Well, that's very difficult. What you should, the question is, how do we purchase Brad's wines and Jim's wines? It's actually very simple. So you shoot us an email and you say, hey, I want to buy some of those fancy wines, and we will ship them out to you. That's exactly how you do it. Actually, which brings me to another thing. I've got a white wine sale going on right now.
Okay.
That it's a mix and match you can buy Viognier, you can buy Albarino, Exina, any Sauvignon Blanc, and if you bought a case, you can get $20 off if you're a non-club member, and if you're a club member, you get your discount plus um, some extra stuff. Do you have any sales? I know.
You know, I'm expecting my
Well,
heart.
you usually give away
stop.
shipping. You usually give away shipping. That makes me crazy.
Well, we're only thing we're doing is that come by the tasting room, and we'll give you 30% off our Sauv Blanc.
Oh, well, that's you know what else? If you're watching us, so you know. Well, you get 20% off no matter what because you watch the show.
Yep.
And all of our folks that joined up to watch got 20% off.
Yep.
Of their wines. And so if they want to buy something that's not on this menu, I'll tell you what, today I'm going to say they can get 20% off. Would you give them 20% off if they said, we watched the Dinner with Brad and Jim show? Can we get a discount?
Yes.
I think he would do that too.
Yes.
Because we love you and you love us. So if you're a club member of mine, that's like a big club discount for you.
Yep. Club per day.
Yeah. So club for a day. If you saw the show and you want to buy some of our wines, we'll give you 20% off.
Okie dokie.
I think that's a pretty
Yep.
reasonable thing.
Okay.
And that's not just because we drank all this wine that you see on the table. I think that's
Oh, it's a lot of
or
empty
that might have
glasses.
something
A
to
lot
do
of
with
empty
it.
glasses here.
But I do want to
Excuse me.
say, I want to wrap it up with. This has been a
No,
fantastic.
wait a second. You want to wrap it up?
I actually
Dang.
don't. I technically want to do this some more,
Yeah, we got it.
but
Your bandwidth here is
I know
limited.
I do want to say that I just want to say thank you so much, all of you folks that have been with us for the last year and a half while we've been doing these shows. It's been absolutely fantastic, fun for us. Jim and I have listened to you.
Yep.
We not only have given you recipes in advance, we put together videos in advance so you can see our tips and
Pass me
tricks.
some more of that red wine.
Oh, you want some of this?
Yeah.
It's a little sad. It's that Valley Floor stuff. But you know, Valley Floor is not so bad. No, this is Hilltop Fruit. Of course it is Hilltop Fruit.
Of course it is.
Are you out already?
Oh no, I was out already.
Okay,
I was
just
getting
in
into my
case.
sappy thank you, but
There
you
you
can
go.
you can get that. Thanks, Danny. That was Danny. That's awesome. But seriously, it's been absolutely fantastic that everybody has been watching us
Yep.
and having so much fun. We've got so many great things coming up together with these dinner series.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to release all the excitement right now, but we've got a lot of great things coming up. Let us get through this next couple, this month or two in the summer, and we'll start letting you know. Maybe dinner series in person, maybe. We've got so many things happening.
Yep. And
along with Left Bank and everything else.
Left Bank stuff. And we were going to continue the, Brad and Jim show on Thursday night.
When is that happening? When is the next time I'm supposed to be there?
I don't remember.
Because you've given me a couple of weeks off. I sure appreciate it. All right. So actually, okay. Jim's, that's Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Jim's Thursday night show. Oh, if you want to understand what winemaking is all about and what living in Alexander Valley is all about, you got to tune into that. That's Facebook only though.
Yep.
So that's our Facebook stuff.
Yep.
No, we got so many.
That was the start of the Brad and Jim show.
It was. He said, "Hey, why don't you come over and hang out for a minute?" And it was a little ridiculous, so we had a good time.
Then I had to kick him out.
I know, but it was good. And that's where, and you also, the feedback of where Jim and I actually get to talk about wine
production
all the way down to the nitty gritty.
Yep.
We heard you. Jim and I are relaxed and having fun and sniffing the deliciousness of the cherries and the blackberries that are in this wine.
Mm-hmm.
But what you all wanted for this show is us to relax and have some fun and cook some great food.
Yep.
But when you head over to Jim's show, we're really talking about how wine is produced. So we're in the cave. We're talking about barrels. We're talking about time in barrels, and then we're talking about
Tasting the fruit.
grapes, fruit.
Mhm.
At the time of production, we're tasting fruit. At the time of production, we're tasting how wines are fermenting. So all of the serious geeky sides of wine are on that show.
Yep.
This is Jim and I just having a really good time
Yep.
and eating some great food and trying to outdo each other with our fantastic cooking skills.
Sure to come. You
But
bet. Well, guys,
so much fun. Been fantastic. Thank you so much, Jim. It's been a great time to
we'll
be with
see you
you.
again.
We're gonna see you in the fall.
in the fall
Hey,
or winter time, whatever. We'll be
winter,
out there.
fall. Check us out. Just get to the website. The website will tell us.
Yep.
We don't know exactly when we're gonna kick the series off again because we've got to make some wine.
It's harvest time.
It is.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Cheers, my
It's
friend.
been an absolute pleasure
Thank you.
and so much fun.
Thank you.